When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at JEWIL International, Gordon D Melville.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me. You're with the Long Bearded Guy, Gordon D Melville on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're going to talk about be bold, be authentic, be you. Be bold, be authentic, be 100% authentically you. And so welcome to Red Fridays. You can't see that probably. I'm wearing my red tie for red, R-E-D, everybody. Remember, everyone deployed. There's a lot of people willing to stand on the wall for us so that we can do what we do, and I want to make sure we honor them. So that's near and dear to my heart. So we remember everybody there that's deployed. Welcome. I deeply appreciate you being here. There's people listening from all over the world. There's people listening and tuning in from their car, from their work, from their home, from wherever they happen to be. Thank you so much for being here. It's a free download, an app download, Inspired Choices Network. Anywhere you listen to your normal, whether it's a live radio, podcast, TV show, we're streaming live on Facebook, on Inspired Choices Network.tv, on YouTube, and obviously from our app. So plug in wherever, but let me know that you're here. Pop in and say, hey, you know what? I'm hearing you, I'm seeing you, and whether you enjoy it, don't enjoy it. I wouldn't imagine you'd pop in and if you don't enjoy it, but you know what? Sometimes some of the things that we need to hear are things that we need to hear, we don't want to hear. Some of the things we're going to talk about today are things we need to hear, things that are hard truths that sometimes we don't want to talk about because it hits home and it hits deep, and it's something that's outside the regular vein of things that we talk about regularly. By the way, if you don't have a journal handy or something to write with or write on, you're going to want that. There's a bunch of stuff I want to give you today. So please grab a journal or something to write on. If you don't know who I am on a mission to positively change the lives of every man by increasing their EQ, by increasing their emotional quotient, because I believe their lives get better. They become better humans, but better husbands, better bosses, better dads, better they're just better all the way around when their emotional quotient goes up. So I'm the founder and CEO of JEWIL International. I'm a champion mindset mentor for a pro basketball team. I'm a multi-award winning international best-selling author multiple times and speaker, international speaker. There's so many things we have going on that I have going on. But I teach essentially the 7 levels of emotional intelligence for men, and I serve entrepreneurial men and pro athletes primarily. But I'll talk to everybody. We'll work with anybody. And I've got some Boxed Inside Out programs that are coming up that I want to talk about. I'll do that later. But so tune in to hear about how that is. I'm happy and excited to have you find me on Google TV, Apple TV, anywhere that you would normally find us. And like I say, jump in, like us, love us, share it, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, but that helps us with the algorithms. It helps us pay for the show. So, and it helps me with my engagement and my reach. We've got hundreds of millions of reach. I'm looking for engagement. I want people to be able to plug into this. I want people to be able to reach out and say, I like it, I don't like it, I love it, whatever it is. We need to be authentically bold in ourselves. If you know somebody that needs to hear this today, you listen to it and you go, oh, you know what, my brother, my dad, my uncle, my sister, my whomever, somebody at work, colleagues, whatever, needs to hear this, please share it. That's how we get engagement. And reach out. You can reach me at the longbeardedguy at gmail.com with any questions, any comments, whatever you want to talk about. Reach out, the longbeardedguy at gmail.com. All right, let's get ourselves going here. Be bold, be authentic, be you is what we're talking about. What does that mean? What does it mean to be bold and authentic in ourselves? Because a lot of times when I ask people, hey, who you be? Who you be? They're like, oh, Gord, your grammar's baffed, buddy. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. But it's not about what I'm trying to do is get them to focus on what I've really asked them. What did I ask? Who are you being? We get stuck in this loop of doing. And you've heard me say this over and over and over and over and over. By the way, if you do know who I am, I'm still on a mission to positively change the, I'm still that same guy. But I want to be, and we need to be, because most people don't know. When I ask who you be, they don't know. Once they figure out what I've asked them, they can't answer the question. Why can we not answer that question? Who are you being? Do you know who you're being? Do you know you're supposed to be? Because if you don't, it's very difficult to live your life successfully and feel fulfilled when we don't know who we are. So and keep in mind, the current version of you will not get you where you want to go. It will not carry you through to the end. You is always changing. It's always morphing. It's always growing. Organically, maybe it's growing by just by osmosis. It's happening, or it's happening by intention because you're putting it out there. I suggest you do the second and the latter, but I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to change. I want the new excitement of the new challenges, because I'm a different human being. If you don't have challenges all the time, you're probably not pushing hard enough, right? If you don't have, if at every stage in your life, as you move and as you morph and as you grow and as you change, all of a sudden you get different challenges. You always have challenges. So sticking true to oneself, understanding who you're being, is key to keep you on track, because stuff's going to change. They say the only thing that never changes is that everything changes, which is kind of hilarious. The only thing that changes is that everything changes, but it's only going to change if you change. Nothing's going to change if you don't change it. So understanding who our true self is, who am I? And again, Webster Dictionary, true to oneself is how do I be authentic? How do I be me? Act in accordance with one's own values, beliefs, motives, spirit, and personality, regardless of the pressure you're under to act otherwise. So regardless of what anybody else, what happens when you're by yourself? When there's nobody around? Who are you? What are you doing? Who are you being? Acting in accordance with one's own values, beliefs, motives, spirit, and personality. Not living up to somebody else's expectation, which is baffed anyway. If you have, you're in relationships, you're in marriages, you're with your kid, stop having expectation. You want to understand more about that? Ask me, reach out to me. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Expectations will kill your relationships all over the place, unequivocally, and people will not like to hear that. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's the deal. That's the deal. Because it's about us, it's not about them. I can go into that some more later. But to be trustworthy and genuine is to be who you are, who you truly are, as authentic. What's authentic? To be trustworthy and genuine. It implies authoritative confirmation. Authoritative implies it. It doesn't have to be said. You ever been around somebody that you just know is different somehow? There's a synergy or an energy about them. There's an aura to them that just changes the energy in the room. That's them understanding and believing, not just understanding, but believing who they are and standing in that empowerment, regardless of what happens around them, regardless of whether people agree with that or not, regardless of whether anybody understands that or not, which I think is part of the linchpin, right? Can we be okay with that? We have people in our life that we go, oh, I love this person. I really like this person. I don't want them to go away. Maybe they're not supposed to be there longer than a certain amount of time. Maybe they're only there for a season because they're helping you move yourself forward. Can you be you? Do you know how to be you, even when those people they don't agree with what you're saying? You're not getting validation from the people that you love and care about, the people that are around you that you trust. And I'm not saying don't listen to those people, because sometimes really close confidant type people are pouring into you, and we need that. We need those bumper rails, right? Keep us on track. But at the end of the day, the people that are around you to hold you to that, those bumper rail people, are not people that will be doing things and saying things that were holding you back. Those people will celebrate you going forward. They'll celebrate you growing. They'll celebrate your successes. They don't feel threatened by that. They'll push for you. They'll push out for you. And they'll encourage you to keep pushing forward. They won't hold you back. But we have to have that belief and understanding about who we truly are. You heard me talk lots about worth and value. That's what it comes down. You boil it all down, boil it all down, boil it all down. That's what it's coming down to. Do you know your worth and value? Do you know who you are? Are you 100% authentically you? Everybody wants to be unique. Oh, I got to be unique. I want to be unique. You is unique. Nobody else can be you. Nobody can be. That's unique. So just be you, and you'll have exactly what you want. And you'll stand out. The question is, can you stand in that empowerment? I guess that's the challenge. Can you stand in that empowerment, even when nobody else believes that? Even when nobody else believes in you or believes that you can get where you said. Hang out with people that believe in who you are. My call to action today is an interesting one from a dear friend who's been an incredible mentor. But he makes a statement that's going to go right to the heart of this. I don't want to spoil it. I want you to stick around. but understand, you need to focus on who you're being. Be bold. Is that going to be weird? It could be. It'll be new for lots of us, right? It's hard to step out and do that. It takes lots of courage because most people don't want to do that. Most people can't be authentically 100% authentically themselves. We all wear masks of certain types, right? We want a persona. What do people? I mean, full transparency. I got to take a break, but full transparency. There's some challenges in my life at the moment, and I was talking to my producer before I got on, and I said to her, I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure I can. Who am I being? What's the mask I'm putting on? I don't want to put on a mask. So I'm sharing with you, hey, you know what? I'm not okay. I am a hurting unit today for a multitude of reasons. But understanding and being able to be bold and authentic with people will bring people to you. It won't push people away. We're really fearful that people are going to leave us. And you know what? If they leave you because you're being authentic with them, who are they? You don't want to be around those people anyway. You want to be around people that celebrate you, that will understand and lift you up. You need a different tribe, maybe. We're going to talk. Like I said, I got to take a quick break. In the next segment, we're going to talk about characteristics of authentic people. What do they look like? What does and it's not. I'm not talking superficially in terms of the outside. I'm talking about characteristics. What does their character look like? How do you know you're talking to an authentic person? How can you know you're an authentic person? So stick around. We're going to talk about that. But I want to do a quick shout out for Jose Escobar. He's the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshop. Check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up a virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy. It's a wonderful, wonderful group, incredible mastermind. As we go to a break, don't forget to pause and breathe. It'll ground you. It'll help you settle. It'll help you formulate some of the things and sort through some of the things that you've just heard. I'm going to have some more of my tea in my special mug, a lemon tea today, but don't forget to pause and breathe. We'll be right back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to the longbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're talking about be bold, be authentic, be you. Can't be anybody else. Everybody else is taken. So you might as well be you. Be who you are. Don't worry about being somebody else. So we talked about in the first segment, we talked about what does that mean, authentic, bold, and how to be, what our worth and our value is coming out of that. So what I want to give you in this segment is what's characteristics of an authentic person. So how do you know you're an authentic person? How can you know you're an authentic person? And how do you know you're talking to an authentic person? How do you know the people around you are authentic people? And to be able to hang out with people that are. So you might want to write these things down. They don't bother with material objects is number one. So they're not big and material stuff, right? There's some people, and it's not bad to have great stuff or nice stuff. We all want certain things, but they're not materialistic in the sense that, and I don't mean that in the sense of Madonna, the material girl. I'm talking in the sense of they surround themselves with lots of stuff. I got to have stuff. That's number one. Number two is they value experience over stuff. So instead of filling their house with trinkets or cars or bikes or whatever it is, right? They go on trips. These are the people that you see traveling the world. They're always in some new place. When they go on vacation, they go on 2 or 3 vacations every year because that's they're not laying a beach type experiences. They're not laying a beach, splash in a pool type vacations. They're let's climb mountains. Let's go on an adventure guide with an adventure guide. Let's whatever it is, right? They're always looking at stuff. They're going through the Mayan ruins, or they're going with whatever it is. They're active because they're looking for the experience, not just stuff. So they value experience. They listen to others. And what I'm saying to that, I'm not saying they're like we talked about in the first segment. I don't mean they're listening to everybody. They're listening for people. They're good listeners. They're people that are using their emotional quotient. They're using their EQ to have sympathy, empathy for people around them. Being able to listen. There's an art to that, which I think a lot we've lost, right? We don't, as a certainly in the Western world, North America, both Canada and the US, we've lost the ability to listen People don't listen to understand. They listen to find a break so that they can talk and put their 2 cents worth it. Right? Sometimes we're listening and all of a sudden we think of something, oh, I want to share that. I'm not listening anymore. I'm waiting now for a break so that I can put in my 2 cents. Do we listen to understand the other person, to try and understand them? Somebody that's being authentic, somebody that's really being authentic is somebody that is really good listener. Really, really good listeners are authentic people. They're not afraid to express themselves and use their voice. They're not shrinking violets when it comes to, hey, you know what, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, this is what's happening in my life. They're not backwards and coming forwards in any way. They have no problem expressing themselves and using their voice. Sometimes we feel like we don't have a voice. Sometimes we don't we don't uh, uh, we don't use our voice, or we feel we don't have a voice, right? I can't put my 2 cents in. And I don't just mean in a conversation, I mean in general, in our lives, right? Do you have your voice? Can you use your voice? Right? So people with that are authentic will absolutely say what they're thinking, and they'll have filter. It's not that they just, boorish and say whatever, but they will absolutely plug in and use their voice. And sometimes that pisses people off. Sometimes people go, oh, I don't like it, or oh, that, they're just being, no, they're being authentic. They're being true to who they are. The next one is they're not a people pleaser, right? Because to sort of put up and live up to whatever anybody else's expectations are, if you even know what they are, because a lot of times we don't know what they are. We think we know what they are. I think my parents have this expectation of me. Have they ever told you what that expectation is? Maybe yes, maybe no. A lot of times it's something from our own brain. It's something from our own mind that says, I think this is what they're expecting of me because of the way they treat me, or the way they talk to me, or things they've done, or things they've shown me, or whatever. This is what I think their expectations of me are. It's bad to try and live up to somebody else's expectation. There's ways to deal with that. Reach out to me. I'll share it with you. But they're not a people pleaser, right? They are going to piss people off. And it's not that they're trying to. It's that by being themselves, it goes against what somebody else thinks is good for them. Or I think on an even bigger level, lots of times, the people that are around them have either given up or settled, and they're feeling convicted why this person is being themselves, right? They're being true to who they really are. And they're going, whoa, you know what? It's telling me that, it's showing me every day when I see them, or every time I talk to them, it's showing me, you know what? That's what I could have done that, and I'm not doing it. I gave up. I could be in that same space. I could be growing that and be vibrant and being authentic. I could do that, but I gave up, or I'm not willing to be that courageous. And they feel convicted. So they're not a people pleaser. People that are authentic, they will not please people. And when I say that, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying they're going to be nasty and negative, or nasty and just rude. What I'm saying is they realize their journey is for them, not for anybody else. And if that people don't understand it, doesn't matter, right? The next one, they value giving love. I can't, it shocks me the number of people that I hug. And if you've listened to me at all, you know I hug a little different, but people that I'm hugging, even when I do mascot work, and even when they can't see me, but they can feel that energy. And when we separate, lots of them are like, you have no idea how badly I needed that hug today. Or they're crying because it's not something that I don't talk. As a mascot, I'm not supposed to talk. So it's not something I've said to them. It's that energy that passes where they feel seen and heard and loved. Can you express that? As a guy, lots of times guys conflate love with sex. So when I say to my guy friend, at least initially when I said to them, hey, I love you, and they're like, do we need to have a conversation? And I'm like, no, 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 no. I love my wife, but and I love women way too much. So that's not no, that's not the deal. It's not I love you, I want you. It's I love you, you're human. I'm a human. You're a human. People hate for no reason. I can love for a reason. I can love because you are. They value giving love to each other. They value that. They give it themselves. They give it to themselves, which right is the next one. They love themselves. When if you're spiritual type human, when Jesus was on the earth and they asked him what's the greatest commandment, he said, love Papa, and I call God Papa because of my relationship with him, but love Papa and then love each other the way you love yourself. Well, that means you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself so that you can love other people. People that have the characteristic of being authentic, they love themselves. They understand they're not perfect. They know they're not. Doesn't stop them from being who they are. They know they make mistakes. They give themselves grace. They love themselves, and then they extend that, allow that love to flow through them to the people around them. Give love. Love yourself. They see, acknowledge, and work on their own faults. They see, acknowledge, and then work on their own faults. They're trying to be better human beings, intentionally better human being. Makes them authentic, makes them approachable, makes them so that you can they're easy to interact with. They're relatable. Relatable. Why? Because okay, they're struggling with some of the same things I struggle with. See, acknowledge, and work. They don't just see them, or sometimes we just are oblivious to what's there. I'm just not going to see it because if I have to look, I have to do something about it. And I don't want to do anything about it, so I'm just not going to look. You stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, and okay, that works, I guess. It's just really, really sad way to live your life. They embrace their uniqueness. Now we go back to the being bold, being yourself, being authentic, being you is unique. Everybody wants to be unique. Be you. That's unique. They embrace their uniqueness. They embrace it. They stick to their morals and values. They're not wishy-washy. They'll stick to it. That's an authentic person. They don't need anybody else to believe what their values are. Everybody's going, mom used to say, right? If everybody jumped off a cliff, you jumping off? If that's not part of your morals and values, then no, I'm not. Doesn't matter what the crowd's doing. They say, be careful following the masses because sometimes the M is silent. We have to be unique and be able to follow our own path. Literally our own path, not some guru's path. Take inspiration from that and take some cues from that or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not what following literally what somebody else is doing is not going to, because they're not you. They don't have your uniqueness. Put your uniqueness on something that they've done. Maybe that works. It's a great inspiration. But at the end of the day, they stick to their morals and values. These people that are authentic, they stick to their morals and values. They don't allow themselves to go, you know what? Hey, I'm going to put that on the back burner for a moment and step outside of that. The last one is they listen to their own inner voice. And who is that? Who's their inner voice? Personally, I believe that's Papa talking to us. We talk to ourselves, but we beat ourselves up a lot. Actually, let me rephrase. We beat ourselves down a lot. Down. We're not beating ourselves in a positive way. We're beating ourselves into a negative place. They've learned to listen to that inner voice. And however they do that, are they meditating? Are they praying? Are they spending time by themselves? Do you even know what that voice looks like or sounds like? More sounds like than looks like. You can't really see it. But what does it sound like? What does your inner voice sound like? And can you tell the difference between your own brain talking, your own shadow, and Papa or anybody else? Some of us hear our parents when our inner Jiminy Cricket could be the sound of our dad or our mom or our aunt or our grandma, right? That voice. What does it sound like for you? Authentic people know what that voice is and they listen to that voice. You hear sometimes people refer to that as gut. My gut says this. That's their inner voice. That's the physiological representation of what their brain is telling them. And a lot of times it's correct. A lot of times it's correct. But we have to be able to listen to that. So there's some characteristics of authentic people. And so you know how you're being authentic. Are you those things? Don't just write it down. Don't just listen to me and go, oh, that's good stuff, and then not do anything with it. Because if that's the case, just shut it off, because you're not going to do anything with it. You might as well not know it. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Do something with it. The difference between successful, not successful, most of the time is the execution of it. People that have had the audacity of doing. You have to focus on who you're being, but then you have to put boots on the ground and actually do and execute. Don't just sit. Do something with it. Anyway, I need to take another break. I get on my soapbox and I get passionate about what I hope you're hearing my heart. I hope you're here. I'm not trying to be nasty and mean. I'm trying to have you understand from my heart, hey, I love you. I care about you. And I love you and care about you. And the only, you know what? People say, well, you don't know me. How is that possible? Because you're listening to me. You wouldn't be listening to me if we weren't kindred spirit type people. If you didn't want to hear this, you wouldn't be listening. That tells me you want to grow on some level. And maybe it's just a seed of something at the moment. I want to encourage that. I want to encourage that. Quick shout out before I take a quick break. Jose Escobar is the founder and the CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about his morning and evening mastery routine program that's changing people's lives. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session with Jose Escobar today. And again, you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. And if you're not doing something as a routine first and last of your day, you're not getting the most out of it. You're fooling yourself. All right, let's take a quick break. You're with the long, I got to remember who I am. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. Don't go anywhere. We got an exciting next piece. Be right back. Pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. We're talking about be bold, be authentic, be you. And I was talking just before I had to go there about trying to have to remember who I am. Who am I being? And which fits right into what we're talking about today. Remember who you're being. Remember who you are. Never forget who you are. The question is, do you know who you are? The question is, can you tell me who you be? Can you tell anybody who you be? Can you tell yourself who you be? Most people can't. Well, it's very difficult to be bold and be authentic when you don't know who you are. So the thing today is to find out. All right. So, what does that mean? We talked about that. Characteristics of that kind of a human being. What does that look like? Right? What are characteristics of people like that? So I know how I'm being that, or what I'm looking for in terms of characteristics for myself. How do I know I'm being authentic and being myself? But what's the benefit of being authentic? Why? Why would I do it? Why would I just leave the mask on? Because people love me with the mask on. Now, some people don't like me. That's okay. I'm good with that. I've got uh, I've got broad shoulders. It's okay, right? But at the end of the day, being authentic, there's benefits of being authentic. There's benefits of knowing who you are. Or why would you do it? Right? It's not a mofo thing. It's not a fear of missing out. It's not a what's in it for me. Although a lot of times, a lot of things that we do or don't do is exactly about it's not what's in it for me. Well, there's nothing in it for me. I'm not doing it. So what's the benefit of being authentic? Why would I want to be? It'll enrich your relationships. It will enrich your relationships. You'll have, again, we're talking EQ, we're talking emotional quotient. Our relationships get better when I'm authentic. If I can put out there who I really truly am. And that's weird because a lot of times we think, well, I can't be who I am. They won't love me. The right people will. The right people will love you. The right people will care. The right people will rally around you. It'll enrich your relationship if you're authentic. You'll have a true dedication to your passions. Why? Because you'll know what they are. Right? It's very difficult to go, okay, well, I'm wearing a mask of somebody else because I can't be me because they won't love me unless I'm this other person. And then situations happen and I go, well, how do I respond to that? What are the passions of this other person? Now I got to create a whole backstory and a whole character. That's just way too complicated. It takes way too much energy. Just be you. Be 100% authentically you. That's unique. But that'll give you a true dedication to your passions. Why? Because you'll be connecting 100% with who you really are. You'll be living out and doing as an extension of who you're being. Powerful. People don't understand. If you can be who you're supposed to be, what you're doing will be way more powerful. You'll have the benefit of being authentic is that you'll have a true dedication to your passions. You want to have that. That's what fulfills us as human beings. You will share a unique place in your profession. Pick any career. You can think of people, I know you can think of people in any profession you think about that you can tell that's a different human being. That's an incredibly different doctor or lawyer or teacher. You can tell they've got a passion for what they're doing. You can tell the ones that don't have a passion for what they're doing. Part of the reason they don't is they're probably not authentic and they don't know who they are. They don't know who they're supposed to be. It makes it very difficult to have passion for anything outside of bitching and whining and complaining that you're not where you want to be or your life's not what you want it to be. It's up to you. It's not on anybody else. And people aren't going to like that. Pull your head out of your ass. It's on you. It's not anybody else's fault. You are where you are. I'm talking to myself. People go, Gord, your body is letting you down. I'm like, no, I let it down. I'm not a victim. I didn't listen to it for 30 years. I ran and I push and push and push and push and push and I ignored my body. I ignored the signs that were there. It was screaming at me and I just sort of went, yeah, whatever. And I didn't pay attention. I'm a walking, talking, breathing version of what happens when you don't do any self-care, when you don't look after yourself. But in these professions, you all know people like that. Stop being victims. You're not. You have the power to change your life however you want it to be. However you want it to be. Make it what you want it to be. Watch for people that are authentic, that have a passion for their career, for the work they do. And that can be, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be lawyer, doctor. It could be McDonald's worker. It could be, and there's nothing wrong with that. Are you working? Yes, great. You're providing for your family. You're providing for yourself. Full respect. Full respect. Another benefit is that you'll receive recognition from valuable people, and everybody is valued. But what we're talking about is people that will recognize you, that are farther along on their journey, on their personal development journey. Valuable people that see you, and that could be your family, it could be your parents, it could be your spouse, your significant other, it could be your kids. You can't fool your children. They see right through it. They can tell, they feel that vibration, they know what's going on way more than you think they do. So you get recognition from it. And it's not that you don't do it to get recognition. That's not why you want to be a vulnerable or an authentic human being. You can live a simplified life. Why? Because you're not trying to figure out who the hell this other person is and how they would respond or how they act or what they do. Being authentically you is simplified living, because you don't have to think about all this other stuff. Just be who you are. Just be who you are. You can enjoy free time at your disposal, right? Some people that can't sleep or have insomnia, part of the reason that's there is because they're not being authentic. They're not being who they really truly are. So there's anxious and angst in their body. And it doesn't allow them to relax. They're holding that stress in their body, and it doesn't allow them to relax. Be authentic. Be 100% authentically you. And you'll sleep better. You'll enjoy your free time. You'll be able to let go and just have fun. You experience personal growth, including EQ. Somebody that is one of the benefits of being authentic is that you'll experience personal growth, because it's intentional. You're on purpose doing it. You're not just letting it willy-nilly happen. You're doing it on purpose. Personal growth. You'll get better. You'll be a better human being. You share a beautiful love life. Your love will come across, right? We talked about characteristics. They value giving love and they love themselves. That results in terms of a benefit. They share a beautiful love life. That's not necessarily with a partner and in the bedroom. That's not only there. Will that work? Yep, that'll be better too. But that loving on the people around you, they'll be able to feel that. Your loving life will be better. And you can experience true meaning in your life. You'll have purpose. You'll have purpose. You'll know. And I think everybody's purpose is the same. Maybe I talk about that in another show. Our purpose is all the same. How we get there is different. Do you know what your purpose is? Because that will help. Experiencing true meaning in your life will give you fulfillment. That'll help give you peace. If you haven't caught that yet, there's emotional quotient all over this stuff. So much of this stuff ties into that. I need to take another quick break, but I want to, if this is resonating with you, and I go a lot deeper in a Box Inside Out program, and I have a men's version of it, and which is what it's always been historically. And then last year I was challenged to do a woman's version of it, and I did, and it went unbelievably well. And I have another cohort coming for both men and women. If that's something that you would, it's only 6 hours. It's only, and I can go into more detail. Reach out to me. I can explain what that's about. It's a very powerful program. It's changed lives unbelievably. The transformation that comes from connecting with who you are, with providing yourself with tools you need to get through your life in a way that's authentic, it's honest, it's transparent. It's a really, 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 really good program. And I can send you testimonials from people that have taken it, that it blew me away what it's done for people's lives. So if that's of interest to you, please reach out. If you want me to come and talk to your group, reach out. If I'm just hooking up with a speaking agent, and they're going to fill up my schedule with speaking engagements. So I'm very excited about that. If you want me to speak to your group, reach out. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. If you want to comment about the show, you want to sponsor or help me keep this moving forward, I can't do this without my sponsors. People like Jose, I can't do this without them. So I appreciate my sponsors very, very much. And my founding sponsors got the show started. This summer will be 2 years weekly. If you want to be able to help, let me know. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. I need to take a break. Don't forget to pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. Let this stuff settle. Let this stuff settle. There's lots of stuff going on around you. Pause and breathe. And I'll be right back. No, don't go anywhere. I've got really, really, really good on Inspired Choices Network. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at JEWIL International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me today. I really, really appreciate you being here. I value you. I love you. Big hugs. We're talking about being bold, being authentic, and being you. Being ourselves, authentically ourselves. Do we know who we are? What does it mean? We talked about what it means even to be authentic. What does it mean to be 100% authentically ourselves? What does that mean? We talked about that at the beginning of the show. We talked about some characteristics of being authentic. Who are authentic people, right? How do we, what does that look like? How do I know I'm being authentic? How do I know I'm getting in and being who I'm supposed to be? So we talked about that. We talked about the benefits. Why would I want to do it even? Right? Why would I want to put the time and effort in? Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's not easy to do the work it takes to be authentic. Once we get there, being our 100% ourselves is easy once we know who we are. Getting there sometimes can be a challenge, which is why people don't do it. That's why most people wear a mask, maybe it's multiple masks. We struggle to be authentic because we want people to like us. We want to fit in. We want to be part of the crowd. We want people to understand us. We want these, and we get into a group of people that we like. And then it's very difficult not to. And now we have relationships with these people, and whether they're good for us or not good for us, what we need to understand is we are 100% complete all by ourselves. It's romantic to say, well, she completes me or he completes me. That's romantic, but if you're not complete without them, you're not complete with them. Knowing who you are, what your own worth and value is critical to being able to be authentic. You have to know who you are. Once you, and you've heard me say it a bunch, but once you know who you're being, what you're doing then becomes an extension of who you're being. And now you have alignment, and now you have flow. Is it easy? No. Is it simple? Absolutely. But lots of times things that are simple are not easy. Right? And the fact that most people don't want to do it tells you it's not easy. It's going to be painful. Growth is. We talked about this last week. Think of a seed. That capsule on the outside cracks open. Well, it's destructive. You have to plant it in the dirt. That's not clean. It's messy. It's violent. It's all these, right? It can be lots of different, that growth cannot, it's not easy, which is why less than 3% of the population is doing any of it. Very few people really do personal development. Almost nobody. Very few. We run in circles that do a lot of that. So we look out and go, hey, everybody's doing this, but most of them are not. Most of the people on the planet are not. So being authentic is being special. Being authentic is being unique. It's being you. We shouldn't be somebody else. Be authentically you. My challenge, my call to action this week is to explore honestly, search yourself honestly, and write out who is your authentic self. And one thing you can execute this week that brings you to that direction, that pulls you in the direction of who you really truly are. Explore who you are and then write it down. Find out who you're really truly being. Who are you being? Dr. Oliver T. Reed is one of my mentors and an incredible human being. I love him to death. Something he said to me a few weeks ago, and it resonated, and I was like, you know what? I need to share that with people. He said, you can't become who you already are. And I was like, dang, I need to become aware of who I'm being. I need to become aware of who I'm being. I'm already an incredible human being. I'm not aware of that. I struggle to plug into that. But I don't have to become who I already am. I just need to step into that empowerment and then live out of that. And I choose to put Papa in that space and get that power. So my identity is in him. Wherever you get your identity, be able to plug into that. Be truly who you are. Don't be somebody else. You're the best you there is available. Be you. Next week is Friday, March. It's not the 8th. March 15. Friday, March 15. We will be back, same time, same place. But what I'm working on is a surprise. But you have to show up to find out what it's about next week. No, I've got a title for you. I'm working on something special. So, but you have to show up to find out what that's about. Same time, same place. Plug in, bring your friends, bring your journal, so you got something to write on and write with, so you can take notes, because you want to be able to do that. Then review the notes. Then do something with the information. Don't just take the information and then not do anything with it. If you're not going to do anything with it, then you might as well not know the information. My mom used to say, where much is given, much is required. If you know what the information is, now you're responsible for that information. I want you to have the information. Be courageous, unapologetically you. Make it another great week. Live out you abundantly with intention. I love you. See you next week. Who are you being? Who are you being? Love you.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs!